Let's say I have a family member or a friend who's struggling with some mental or emotional distress. I mean, what can I do about that? I mean, that can be very tenuous, especially if it's someone really close to me. What's the best way to approach that situation? Corinne?
Okay. Really the first thing is I know you've preached on this before, Pastor Dave, about being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Okay. A lot of times when people are sharing very deep, big, meaty things, it scares people. Okay. So even when a client says to me that they're feeling suicidal, I have a reaction in my body. It's like, ugh, in my stomach, but I'm aware of it. I pull out my breathing, like Jeremiah says, and I say, okay, can you tell me a little bit more? What's going on for you? What's this like for you? I put my stuff aside just for a moment to truly hear what their experience is, to accept. Interestingly, and I think, Jeremiah, you mentioned that with your neuroscience comment, that when people take the time to ensure that we feel truly heard and understood, clinically, our anxiety levels start coming down.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Our stress response just starts coming down. Okay, so that's always a really nice way to start, is if we have the time and space in the moment to just really hear them and try to understand where they're coming from. That's massive in terms of help. And even research in terms of what makes a therapist effective kind of says it doesn't really matter what their therapeutic model is. It's that connection, their ability to help you truly feel heard and understood.
Yeah, wow. So in some ways, I mean, all of us have the ability, not professionally, but we all have the ability to have a little bit of a therapist in us.
Absolutely.
Jeremiah, anything comes to your mind on that?
Yeah, definitely. With again, going on top of what Corinne said, is definitely two things really that come to my mind right now in this topic. Is the reality is whoever we're talking to right now, it's not like I'm just randomly Facebooking someone, hey, I need to talk to someone. No, those who we are connecting with, those we were talking with on phone or through video, are the people that we already know or have some form of connection with, even if it is just, that person I saw every day that I've worked with for the last 5 years, and just reconnecting with them. Hey, how are things going? Yeah, good. Can't wait to get back to work, And so connection is good. And out of that, there's always what I call that gut. You just sometimes know something's off, something's not right. But this is where most people just stop and go, you know what, I'll wait till the next person. No, this is where we have to be bold and sometimes ask the question, hey, this is really uncomfortable for you, and this might be uncomfortable for you, but are you doing okay? As simple as that. Are you doing okay? We have to be bold and ask that question, especially if that something's going on, something doesn't feel right. Just, hey, is everything going okay? Is everything all right? And even if they're like, oh, no, I'm fine, man, that's okay. But just then reiterate and go back and go, hey, I just want you to know I'm here for you. And if you ever do want to chat, just know I'm here for you. What that does is it creates safety within the other person to know that maybe I do need to talk to someone or this person. Let them make that decision. It also creates space for that person. And you yourself are also now being present for that person, whether it is a family member, whether it's a friend, a coworker. So you're just being present for that. Hey, I'm here. And I'm not going to try to fix it. That's for the guys out there watching this, because guys have a tendency to want to fix everything. Just be present, okay? You've pretty much just saved half of your premarital counseling right there, if you can catch that, okay? And just be present, okay? Just listen. I have no idea what you're going through, okay? If you're someone who lost a job, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine if you're part of the third phase. They just announced yesterday in Alberta, the third phase will be the middle of June. Oh my gosh, that's 4 months of businesses going, we're having a hard enough time just making it 1 month. Imagine if you're now part of that third phase. So I have no idea what you're going through, but I just want to be present. I want to be with you and be here to support you. If you need to talk, I'm here. Okay. Or I can help direct you to someone who maybe can if you need someone else.
Mm. Yeah, fantastic. You know, I can't believe how much time has just soared by here. It's been so good. You know, I do want to end with one more question. And, you know, this is something that I think some of us struggle with. But, you know, if I begin to seek out professional help, so, you know, from someone like yourselves, does that mean that I'm a failure as a Christian? So some people actually believe, well, you know, I don't want to go see a therapist, a psychologist, because that just says that, you know, I don't have enough faith. I'm not living my Christian life the way I should. And so, Corinne, do you want to just share on that a little bit? And then Jeremiah, you can jump in.
Sure.
No, please don't think that, because here's the thing. We all are a very intricate connection of mind, body, spirit, emotion. And when we say you haven't prayed enough, or you need to just, okay, you know, sometimes we aren't always kind to each other. And I really hope that people don't have that message. But often when clients come in, and I work in a Christian counseling practice, I am so blessed to have some of the wonderful counselors that when I'm struggling, I can say, you know, knock on the door, hey, do you got a minute? And they sort of minister to me across so many areas, and it fills me. And as a therapist, when people come to me and then they say, yeah, I'm a Christian and I've got this or that, I'm like, awesome, good, because now we have exponentially more options, more things that we can walk with you in, and there's more resources, I guess, right? I mean, God is Jehovah Rapha. He is our healer. He is Jehovah Shalom, our God of peace. Like, awesome, right? So I would just encourage people to maybe notice those feelings, notice those fears like that might come up, and set it aside just long enough to step out, give it a shot, because it doesn't mean that you are deficient in any way. We all struggle.
Yeah. And of course, in the Bible, Jesus is called one of his names is he's the wonderful counselor.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeremiah,
absolutely.
a few thoughts.
Yeah. I think practically it's good to know. I deal with both, you know, those who consider themselves Christians, those who are of different multicultural or different belief systems, all right, faith backgrounds. And I would say all the camps, whatever you want to call it, from a worldwide perspective, everybody deals with issues of things like shame and just the fear of having to even go talk to someone. Because again, it's that control. I actually have to trust someone. Are you kidding me? I'm trying to control myself, but it's not working. And so at some point, that person has to come to a realization to go, I need to relinquish some of this control and begin to maybe seek out some counsel, which is where counselors and psychologists come into play. Okay. The next part I'm going to say, this is kind of that, hopefully this has come out the wrong way, but anyone who's maybe just checking out, you know, what's this church thing? Oh, this is an interesting kind of thing. This is not the normal church service. You know, this is that part where, yeah, you can go now, go off, watch YouTube, do something different. I'm just talking to those who maybe considers themselves a believer or a regular attender of, you know, Royal Oak Victory Church, you know, the church where you Pastor Dave. I would again agree with you. This is where we have to remember, all right, Jesus himself says, I am the wonderful counselor, Prince of Peace, okay? And this is where, if you're going to Jesus to meet your needs, the next step that a lot of people do is then they go to their pastor for that spiritual support and help, okay? That is a little more easier and kind of a normal next step that happens. And then really the only difference between you and I is you're dealing, in my opinion, is that you're dealing more with the, not that you don't have understanding or training in areas of counseling and stuff like that, but you've got more of a heart and passion towards that spiritual side. Whereas individuals like Corinne and myself and other therapists that are out there of maybe a faith background have more of that soul component, which is mind, emotions, will, okay, the soul part of the body. And that's really what our passion, where we've really focused our training. And then what an amazing opportunity for collaboration. That person's now going to the pastor goes, all right, now maybe you might want to consider seeing someone else to help with the clinical side of things. Okay, you're coming in with the spiritual approach, we're coming in with the clinical side of approach, and then holistically we're coming together. And then with that individual's faith in God, what a beautiful combination and opportunity to bring healing and restoration within someone's life in their journey, to be able to walk through even these circumstances that we're in right now, to be able to walk in peace, and be able to do that.
Yeah.
Nicely said.
Yeah, very good stuff. Well, this has been awesome. I mean, I wish we could go for another hour. Such practical, relevant stuff. But we're going to wrap it up, and I think maybe the best way to wrap it up is, I know that some people who are watching today are, they're maybe struggling with some of the things we talked about, and so, I want to give you guys an opportunity to just throw out your shingle a little bit. Let us know where you're at. And so, Corinne, maybe share, how we can get in contact with you.
Sure. So I am at Masters Counseling, and I don't know, I could give you the phone number. Is that awkward? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. So that's 403-253-7135. So we have 7 or 8 different therapists there. And like Jeremiah said, we see Christian individuals as well as people from cultural, religious backgrounds, that kind of thing. We never push the religious thing. We can't legally anyways. And so it's just really meeting people where they're at, coming alongside them in more of a discipleship kind of posture, and walking alongside them as they walk towards their goals. And there are so many different therapists there that we can, if you want a male counselor, we have that. If, there are people who specialize in working with, different populations. So I love coming alongside people. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Jeremiah?
I'm at a place called New Life Counselling. I'm over in the northwest part of Calgary. But I think as a lot of therapists are encountering, it's not, we're not limited anymore, which is kind of cool, to just a location. We're basically virtually worldwide now because of online counseling. And I think it's good to know that even just as you and I are talking right now, this is what online counseling is like. Hey, Jeremiah, tell me, how can I deal with this? I may be talking a bit, I'm listening to you, a little bit of patter, but more with that clinical approach, focusing specifically on your needs, on the areas that you're needing help and support with. So it's just an amazing opportunity for wherever you're at. Okay. And otherwise, I would encourage people to check out the website. That's newlifecounseling.life, 2 L's in counseling. It's a Canadian thing. My phone number is 403-690-8617, and that can be text is fine as well. Just because some people, like I say, even prior to COVID, still deal with issues of anxiety and depression, and maybe have a hard time making that call. But texting is a lot of times more easier. So I definitely encourage people. Yeah, if you have a hard time calling, text. Hey, I need to talk. Great, well, just text. That's totally fine. Make it safe and comfortable for everyone that way.
No, fantastic. No, it's great to have, resources like that. It's awesome to be able to have you guys and have you guys here today and as part of our church family. It really gave me strength. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank you for taking the time this morning to be with us. And, you know, we're not out of the woods yet. We need to really take care of ourselves. And I just want to tell everyone out there, there's been a lot of nuggets and practical advice that has been shared here today. And I want to encourage all of you just to take that, find out, you know, where you're at and apply it into your own life. And so I want to say thanks for coming on, and we look forward to doing some more connection in this way. Amen.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for giving space as well to be able to, for us to share our hearts as well to you and your congregation as well, Pastor Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
Okay. God bless.
You as well. Thank you.
Mhm.